Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to be doing my final research project on Neanderthals, and I chose to do it in the format of a slideshow presentation because I want to work on my presentation skills, so I see this as a perfect opportunity. So, moving forward, in this presentation, I'm going to talk about, Neanderthals and exactly who they were, and when did they live? How did they live? What kind of food did they eat? And we're going to go into all this in such great detail. So, moving forward, I'm going to answer the who. Well, as noted by the name, their actual species name was Homo neanderthalensis. This name actually meant human from the Neander Valley, believe it or not. So these species were actually named in 1864, and, fun fact, these are our closest ancient human relatives. So, where did these guys live? So, as you can see on the map provided, this large area here evolved around Europe and Asia, also known as Eurasia, and it also ranged from, Portugal and Wales, and in the west across the Altai Mountains of Siberia in the east. Moving forward, I want to talk about the when. So, as you can see, I provided a in-detail timeline of each of our ancestors, all with fossil records, kind of dating what they looked like, what they found, and the timeline in which they resided. So, if you can see, within the top left section of this graph, you can see Homo sapiens, which that's what we are, and Homo neanderthals. And as you can see, our closest relatives, very close indeed, they lived about 400,000 to 40,000 years ago. But what was special about these guys? Why are we talking about them? And that's the how. These guys are very special because, drum roll please. They used tools. Awesome, right? These guys, apart from popular belief, they were often seen as caveman, or not that intelligent, but they actually were very, very smart, and their brains were gigantic relative to the size they were. They were a lot bigger than us. Their brains ranged from about 1,200 centimeters cubed to about 1,750 centimeters cubed. And their tool-making technique was known as levios. So this technique was essentially taking stone cores and then chipping away at the outer edges to make any desired sharp object. And these objects were often used for, hunting. And we found these often through fossils of animals they hunted. You can kind of see of chips in the animals, like carcass. And we often found objects such as spears and flint hand axes. And so moving forward, what did they use these tools for? They actually use these tools to, hunt and find food. Because, we all need food. And their diet consisted of, they were very carnivorous, and so their diet consisted of mainly bison, mammoths, and reindeer. And they were very proficient hunters because they would sneak up on animals and then just spear them up. And, believe it or not, they ate a little bit of plants too. Within their teeth fossils, scientists and archaeologists have found that they actually ate plants and fungi. And depending on the area, they were actually very keen on seafood. So if you like seafood, just know, yeah. So I just want to say thank you for tuning in and listening to my presentation. The sources I used for this presentation were from the Natural History Museum and the textbook that was provided to us for this semester. I just want to say thank you, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day.